Hey guys, it's Zoe here, and today I'm gonna be filming a long I'm not really gonna edit it much. I'm barely gonna edit this. Like, there's not gonna be cuts or anything like my normal videos, and it's just gonna be a really long, kind of personal vent. A lot of you said that you wanted to kind of watch a video like this, like a really just kind of real, raw, pure, relatable, long video that you can just sit and you can watch for a long time and you can relate to. And I want you guys to know that I'm dealing with a lot of stuff right now, a lot of shit right now. I'm gonna keep my composure. I'm not in a mood right now where I feel really depressed or anxious or anything like that, so I'm gonna be super chill reading these. Oh, sorry. I've told you guys, and I told you guys in the vlog I filmed today, and then in the live stream I did yesterday, that I've been writing notes. Like, I have been, instead, like, you can use a journal too, but I've been using my phone, using the notes app, and while I'm experiencing these feelings and thinking these thoughts and dealing with depression and anxiety attacks and panic attacks, I've been writing them down, jotting them down in the notes app, and I've been, writing them down as they're happening, because I do go to therapy. I have guidance counselors, school psychologists, parents, anyone I can talk to, which I don't like talking to people, but I'm gonna get to there. But anyone I can talk to, like when I go in for my weekly appointments with my therapist, and I'm supposed to talk about my week and talk about the shit that I've been dealing with throughout the week, and I just like don't remember like what happens, honestly, like, because it just wears me out so much that I like don't remember, but it just keeps happening because I don't tell anyone about it, because I don't really think about it, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Probably makes no sense, but I've been realizing that I need to write this stuff down as it's happening. So I showed this to my dad, and he said he had no idea I felt some of these things. Showed this to my therapist, and she goes, that sounds like, what we all think it is, and it really opens up a new perspective. I'm not really sure what word to use, but I hope this all makes sense. So yeah, this is what I'm feeling in the moments I'm feeling them, not writing them down or filming or talking to somebody later about it. It's my pure, real, raw reactions and feelings and thoughts while the shit is going down. So I'm gonna start a little bit with my background. When I was a baby, I was always a very, very, very picky baby and little kid. Very picky, especially when it came to food. Very, very picky. Up until I was about 12, I ate, or when I was a baby, obviously, because I didn't really know anything when I was a baby. I just kind of did whatever my parents told me to, or like just they controlled me basically, because I I didn't really have a functioning brain, if that makes sense. I was a baby, so they just kind of gave me whatever. And then when I got to the point where like I was feeding myself, I wasn't cooking for myself necessarily, but I was aware of what I was eating and the tastes, the textures, and all that stuff. And I developed, eating disorders. I ate very unhealthy, and I was very prissy and picky about the textures. Sorry, I'm like fidgeting here. I have OCD, and I might have Asperger's or high functioning autism, where I just do like little weird jittery things. But yeah, I'm gonna get to there. But yeah, that's just one example. I just keep doing this. I've been doing this with my earring for a really long time, just kind of playing with it. Anyway, so when I was a baby, and also with clothes, I'm still like this. I'll probably always be like this, and I've always been like this, where I'm very picky about my clothes. I can't wear like pants with waists. I can't wear tight clothes. I just can't wear certain clothes. I can't wear jeans. I can't wear leggings. I can't wear even sweatpants. I can't wear pants in general. I can't wear certain dresses. I'm very, very particular about my clothes and what I wear. And we realized those were sensory issues, like, the texture thing. I didn't like the way certain foods felt in my mouth, and I didn't like the way certain clothes felt on me. I've never liked being touched or just I don't like certain smells. I'm very, very, very sensitive in all aspects, but my vision's very sensitive. Like I see things super clearly, and my hearing, like I hear things louder than they are, and I'm very sensitive to sounds. Like coughing drives me insane. I like coughing and throat clearing, I go ballistic. I think I hear it like louder, and I'm more sensitive to it than other people are. And these are all just sensory issues that I have. And then when it came to social stuff, my social life started to plateau or decline or worsen when I was in 7th grade. And I still had friends, but like I started to lose friends, and I just became more and more socially awkward and more socially anxious, and I just started to just not, like, people just were like really mean to me, and I was always isolated and excluded from things. And then in 8th grade last year was the worst year socially and in general so far in my life. I mean, I was very, very alone and isolated, and I didn't want to be alone. I wanted friends, and I was really upset that no one wanted to be friends with me. And then I had a best friend, she betrayed me. I've talked about that in my Why I'm Depressed video that I filmed in May, which was a while ago, and things have just gotten so much worse since then. Like, if I was crying about that back then, I have I'm still depressed and anxious, but for like way worse reasons. So I just I didn't have any true friends, and I was really sad about that, and I was really sad that I never did anything, and I was always with my family. I still am like that. I mean, I'm still always with my family, but that's not what I'm sad about. I hate being around people at this point. I've been betrayed. I mean, I'm not really exactly sure why yet. We're not sure why. I've chosen to be, and I want to be isolated, and I don't want anything to do with people. Like, this is why we struggle every day getting me out of bed and getting ready to go to school, because I can't stand school so much. Not necessarily for the work. I can handle the work. It's stressful. It is really, really stressful, but that's not the problem. It's people. I hate being around people. I hate teachers. I hate students. Not only do the personalities suck, but they're people. And this is just developed into this, and like I said, this is kind of all over the place, and now I'm just rambling. So let's just see what I have written down in my actual note. And I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit, because as I was writing this, I was feeling very, very angry. I'm a very, very angry person, and some of the language is a little intense here, so I'll have to adjust this a little bit. I'm just gonna sort of read this all through here, and I know this is very personal stuff I'm putting out on the internet, but like I said, I want you guys to know that you're not alone. I'm dealing with a lot of shit, and I love the fact that I'm a YouTuber that's talking about this stuff. And I know a lot of you comment that like YouTubers don't talk about this kind of stuff. YouTubers are like in college and they look like they're having the time of their lives. I'm a 14-year-old and I hate my life. Like, obviously I'm not gonna try to say that my life is so awful and I live in poverty and I'm starving and I have to do labor and I don't get an education. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I'm not privileged enough and I don't have enough resources and I'm worried about dying. But I have mental illnesses, and it's an issue. It's a very severe issue, and it's affecting my whole family. It's driving all of us crazy and driving all of us apart. So yeah, I just wanted to disclaim that. I'm not complaining that my life isn't good enough in that aspect, but it's hard. And the thing is that no one knows what to do about it right now, and that's really, really difficult. Like, my parents, they don't know how to handle a child who's clinically depressed. They don't know how to handle a child with severe anxiety. They've never had to deal with it before. They've never come in contact with somebody for a long period of time who has these clinical diagnoses. So they don't really know what to do about it, and that is a struggle, and it's a problem because just no one knows what to do about it right now. And I have to start medication soon because you guys know, if you don't, I'm telling you now, that anxiety and depression is when you have, like, there's something wrong with your brain. Like, you have a chemical imbalance in your brain, so it's not something that you can control. There's a difference between, like, feeling depressed and having depression. There's a difference. Depression is a mental illness where there's an imbalance in your brain, and the medicines are to help. We've really steered away from medicines. I've always been sort of against medicines. I've always wanted to take natural routes, but we're at the point now where this is so bad that I need it, and the medicine is meant to balance it out. And we took DNA genetic testing, and we're going to put like a swab in my mouth, and then I sent it to we sent it with a psychiatrist, and then he got results back, and it was basically into columns. Green, I've talked about this briefly before, green being the antidepressants that are perfect for me and will work for me. The yellow means that they might work, but they might not work, and then the red ones mean it will just make it worse. There was like 3 columns. So the green column is the antidepressants that I would want to get, because those would be the ones that work for me. So we've been putting in a lot of research. We've been very hesitant about it, but we're at the point where I need it now. So that's it. That is what it is. So I'm just gonna get right into this. My bracket, social anxiety, because I was saying my anxiety and my social anxiety and depression has gotten so bad that being around people or going out is so effing painful, I'm being harassed at school, I'm super underdeveloped, and I am so effing sick and tired of ignorant a-holes thinking that I'm a damn 9-year-old and I just want to be effing cyber schooled, and my parents aren't even trying to help me with that, and neither is my guidance counselor or therapist. So I'm just going to kind of read this in sections and then explain it. But basically I've been struggling in school a little bit. I still have, my grades are okay, just in math. I like my last marking period grades were like mostly A's, a B, and a D in math, but that's not the point. It's not the academics that are really the problem, but the work stresses me out like crazy, as I said. And I did a live stream once, and I was like, guys, give me advice on how I can deal with this. How can I deal with balancing everything with my schoolwork and YouTube and everything in my life and my anxiety and all that stuff. And they all suggested being cyber schooled, and I had thought about that, and I thought it was a great idea. Cyber schooling means you can do things at my own. I can do things at my own pace. I have a job. YouTube's my job. It's more important to me. It's very important to me, and it's time consuming. So I need time for that. People count on me. I make money from it. It's my job, and I need dedicated time to it. And I have very bad anxiety, and doing all this schoolwork in a very limited amount of time is so stressful and causes me to have anxiety attacks constantly. I bawl my eyes out every day for so many different reasons. Last night I bawled my eyes out because of schoolwork, and this morning I bawled my eyes out because I had no desire. I did not want to go to school. I fought my parents so hard this morning. They were verbally attacking me and saying, you're going to school, terrifying me. I'm not saying that my parents are abusive, they're not, but they scared me because they don't know what to do anymore, and they lose their temper. That happens with people. Like I said, I'm not trying to convey the message that my parents are abusive, but they're just frustrated. We're all so frustrated with me having these problems, feeling no motivation. I refuse, but I'm still forced to go to school. I hate it so much. I hate everything about it. So I just wanted to be cyber schooled, and I still do. And I feel like nobody's really paying attention to that. Like, my therapist, I've mentioned it to her, but she just keeps changing the subject when I mention it. She never really talks to me about it. And then the guidance counselor, again, she was literally like, oh, well, if I had you do it now, like, I talked to her at the end of the first marking period a couple weeks ago, and she goes, well, you'd have to do all the work for the first and second marking period in the second marking period. So I'd have to do work for 2 marking periods in 1 marking period if I were to change it, and it would need to be an extreme condition. I need a note from a doctor, and that I'm physically not mentally stable enough to be in school, and I would have to deal with all this shit to get out of it. And so I have to wait a really long time, and she's not helping me with it. I don't necessarily like her too that much anymore. She, like, yeah, she's supportive and stuff, but I'm getting so sick of talking to her. I want to be home, and I've had episodes at school, which I'm going to get to in a minute, where I hide in bathrooms, and I can't go to class. I don't want to go to class. I no desire to go to class, and then I don't say anything, and no one notices. No one comes after me. The only time that people have ever, like, found me, come after me, and found me in the bathroom was one time when I kept texting my mom that I was gonna kill myself, and I was so depressed, and I didn't want to be here, and I'm not going back to class. So she had to call the school, and then security guards chased me down, and then I had to go to talk to my therapist, and then I had to go home because they wouldn't let me back in school because they weren't safe with, they didn't feel safe enough, and I didn't feel safe enough. So that whole thing happened, and I never really wanted to talk about it until now. But I need to ask my mom. I need to ask my parents before I upload this video for their approval, or this could just be for my personal uses. We'll see. I struggle in school a lot, and people are really, really mean to me. Really mean to me. People are mean in general, but I'm so sensitive, and like I said, I have anxiety and depression, I have OCD, I have mental problems, so I take things really, really personally. And you know, there's a kid who sits next to me in math class who tells me every day that I smell bad. It makes me feel terrible. It makes me feel so, he thinks it's funny. He thinks I'm taking it as a joke. I did the first time he said it, and then he kept saying it every day, and it was so offensive. He goes, do you know what showering is? Like, do you shower? Do you wear deodorant? He was acting like I was like a hobo, and I don't take care of myself at all, and I smell bad. I don't smell it. And then everyone else at my table was like, you don't smell like anything. So that didn't bother me that much, but it just bothers me that he says it to me every day, and he says it in a more offensive way every day. And then just people in my math class are really mean and distracting, and you know, they judge me for everything I say and do. They judge me for being a vegan. They judge me for being a YouTuber. They judge me for everything I say or do, and people are just so judgy. And then there's another table behind my table in math class. I constantly see them looking at me and laughing like they're making fun of me, because I know one of the kids at that table hates me, and he makes fun of me, and then he tells everyone at that table to make fun of me and hate me. So they always stare at me and laugh at me. Like, I've seen one of those girls in the hallway, and I just smiled at her, and then she smiled at me like she was about to start cracking up just because of me. And it's laughing at me. And I don't appreciate that, and it makes me feel terrible. There are people I'm scared of. There are people who get like high at school who I'm scared of. There's this one time where a girl made me feel so bad. She was so mean to me. I'm not even gonna get in depth with it because I don't exactly remember, but she was making me feel so uncomfortable. I asked her a question, a simple question. She attacked me for asking that question. The question wasn't even that bad. The question was so simple, but she attacked me. And then everyone else around us didn't say a word. That was also quite offensive to me. That these people that claim to be friendly with me, I have a very, very, very hard time saying the word friend. I don't consider anyone my friend. It's a very hard word for me to say. It is a very hard word and the word love is a very hard word for me to say. I can't say it to my parents anymore. We used to be like, I love you too. I can't say the word anymore. I can't say the word love, and I can't say the word friend. I can't describe anybody like that anymore. I know it's really bad, but that's just what it is. And if you guys are experiencing any of this, feel free to DM me, comment, anything you want. just can't Snapchat me because I won't see it. But yeah, that's that. And she was being so mean to me, and then no one else said anything, which is also really offensive. So I took my stuff, I left, I went to the bathroom. None of them noticed I left, and I didn't come back. None of them noticed I didn't come back. And this is getting to a problem, and my mom has notified the school that I just disappear, and then nobody comes after me, nobody notices, nobody cares. And that's a problem because no one's paying attention. So yeah, people at my school are very judgy, very mean, makes me feel very uncomfortable. I'm a very socially awkward, very severe social anxiety. So yeah, that's kind of what that's about. This is gonna be really long. I'm hoping that it's about an hour, honestly. And yeah, I'm tired of ignorant a-holes thinking I'm a freaking 9-year-old. Guys, stop commenting mean things in general. I've been getting so much more hate than I used to. I mean, the more I grow, obviously, the more hate I'm gonna get. But stop. You are just wasting your time. Do you have anything else better to do with your life, your pathetic, lonely, miserable life, than to troll innocent people? Like, you're judging me for being a loser, but you're a loser yourself by wasting your time commenting mean things. Like, it's so unnecessary, it's rude. You know I already have enough problems mentally, and you're just making them worse. You're pushing me farther over the edge. So stop, and stop thinking I'm a 9-year-old. I'm not 9. I'm not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm almost 15, so stop. I know, I have no boobs. I'm 4'11". I'm a small person. I'm underdeveloped. I know. I'm aware. You don't need to remind me. I've addressed this way too many times. Stop. I'm serious. Just stop saying mean things. Just stop. I don't really care. I don't care. I do care, honestly, which is the problem. I let it get to me because I have problems, and I think chuckle about it and I joke about it, but it's just a coping mechanism for me. But I legitimately have problems, and you need to stop. You tell me I'm not doing something right or I said something wrong. I am most likely aware of what mistake I made, and you really don't need to remind me. So I'm just throwing that out there right now, and I might seem really pissed because I am, but I'm just telling trolls and haters to stop wasting their time and wasting their life on pointless, unproductive trolling. There's no point to it. You're just making people feel bad, which is one of the most unproductive things anyone can do. So yeah, okay, I can't go to school. It's not just the basic old ew school sucks, I hate being in school, blah blah BS. I hate being around these mean, immature bitches, shitty teachers, and just people in general, plus the fact that there's too much work for my delicate and stressed out brain to handle, and I have mental breakdowns as soon as I get stressed. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm sick of having them anywhere but my own house. Them referring to the mental breakdowns. So yes, this is all very, very true. Like I said, all the work is a lot for my brain to handle. It's really, really difficult for me to handle. And I have mental breakdowns constantly. And like I said, I have episodes in school. I don't want to have episodes in school. That is so embarrassing. That's why I storm out of classrooms. Like in English class once, people were attacking me. People were being so mean. And I exploded. Like, I have an issue where I can't hold back or control my emotions, and I kind of burst, explode, combust just with emotions. Like, but I kind of just explode and I can't hold it back. It just happens. So I literally stormed out of my English room, ran to the bathroom, started sobbing. So, and I'm really, really sick of having emotional breakdowns anywhere but my own house. This is my room. There's no one else here. I feel safe in here because no one's gonna bother me. But in school, that's not the case. People will go after me. People will not leave me alone. Well, actually, I just contradicted myself. People don't care, but I don't feel safe. I'm not in the comfort and safety of my own bedroom. I can't, you know, lay in my bed and cry into my pillow alone in my own house. I'm in a bathroom stall, a gross school bathroom stall. I'm pretty sure that makes sense, that it's a lot more comfortable being in my own room than at school, and this is all related to the cyber-schooling thing. Hopefully this will convince someone. And yeah, some of my teachers really suck. They don't get it. Some of my teachers don't, like, they care about the class work. They don't care about, like, you know, actual life stuff. So there's been times often where I have not been able to complete homework assignments because I'm having 4-hour panic attacks. I don't have the mental capacity. I'm unable to complete the assignments, but they don't really care. They still give me zeros for it, or however much I have done. They're still gonna give me an F on the homework assignment, even though I was mentally and physically unable to complete it. My teachers only, most of them at least, only care. And what's hard is I don't really know how to explain to my teachers why I didn't complete it, because certain teachers ask, why didn't you finish this? I don't know what to say. I had a mental breakdown. I can't just say that to my teacher in front of other students, but that's what happened, that's why, but I can't say that, and it's really difficult for me. So yeah, nobody gives a shit that I have multiple mental illnesses. Nobody's trying to help, and people don't understand the mental illnesses I have and lash out at me for acting a certain way, which I can't control, which stresses me out and upsets me even more, causing me to hurt myself and have longer and worse panic and anxiety attacks. So I'm gonna say right now, I'm not suicidal. I have thought, I have had thoughts, I'm not gonna deny that, but I haven't actually physically hurt myself. I haven't cut myself. I haven't done anything to try to end my life. I haven't made a plan or anything like that, because, and I'll be explaining why later in this. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. I haven't tried to hurt myself or killed myself, but I've thought of it before, because I feel worthless, I feel hopeless, and I feel like there's no point in me being here. I'm just very depressed, and I've definitely attempted to run away. During the summer, I eloped so many times, which is I've just packed up some stuff and I left like so many times, like almost every day during the summer. And I did it again this morning because I was scared, I was anxious, I was depressed, and I wanted to get away. My parents always wound up bringing me back against my will. I did not want to go with them, but I really didn't want to be around with anyone. So I'm saying that, but I've been getting better at that. But that has happened, and yes, like I said, people don't really understand. Like people like, yeah, anxiety, depression, like, you know, common mental illnesses, but like my parents, they don't understand it, and it's very hard for me to explain what I'm feeling a lot of the time. That's why I'm filming this. So it's a lot of the time it's really hard for me to explain what I'm feeling, so people don't really understand like what I'm dealing with, and so they don't really understand what conditions I have or how to treat them. And my parents don't know how to deal with any of this. My parents just don't understand how these mental illnesses work. They don't know how to treat it. They just don't understand because they're not educated on it. So yeah, that's a problem. People, and they lash out at me because a lot of the time, not a lot of the time, but sometimes I can't control my actions. I can't control my feelings. I have no control over my feelings, actually, a lot of the time. And I'm always just really sad, and sometimes for no reason. Sometimes I have anxiety attacks and I sob for no reason, but there is something in my brain that's causing that to happen. And then my parents get frustrated because, first of all, my dad especially is the kind of person that he needs to have all the answers, and if he doesn't have all the answers, he gets very frustrated, and he takes it out on me or other people. And I'm not saying he's a bad person, like not at all. He's a very smart person, but he knows he's a smart person. So if he doesn't know something, he gets very, very frustrated. So that's what happens, and they lash out at me because they don't understand what I'm feeling. They don't understand how the mental illnesses work or what they're doing to me or how it's happening or how to treat it or anything, and they get really frustrated and they lash out at me. So yeah, I hope this is all making sense. I feel like I'm suffocating, gripping onto whatever's around me. That's what a lot of my panic attacks feel like. When I first went in to meet a psychiatrist, she asked me, do you ever feel like you're gonna die? Like you feel like you're going to die when having panic attacks. He used to like describe to me what panic attacks and anxiety attacks were, and I was like, I never had to deal with that stuff. And now I'm dealing with legitimate panic and anxiety attacks where I literally feel like I'm suffocating. Like this morning I could not breathe. Like I have asthma and I was sobbing and I had to catch my breath, but sometimes I'll be laying on my floor sobbing, panicking, gripping onto my rug, gripping onto whatever's around me, and I feel like I'm suffocating, kind of like buried alive feeling. It's very, very difficult, and I'm sure anybody who struggles with this knows exactly what I'm talking about. So that's kind of what I feel physically, I guess. People are useless. I hate people. People are rude, bitchy, mean, etc. I don't want to leave my house because I don't want to be around people. I want to isolate myself from the rest of the world. Talking to people stresses me the hell out because I feel like I'm going to say something wrong. They're going to take it the wrong way. They'll respond in a very hurtful way. Basically anything pessimistic you can think of. That pretty much says it all. But like I said, I've been hurt a lot of times and I'm very depressed and I'm very isolated, and I want to be at this point. I have no desire to make friends. Like being around people, I don't want to leave my house anymore because I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to be around people. I used to like feel like I need to get out of the house. I need to get out of the house. I need to be around people. I need to get out of here. And now I don't want to. And I can't even like explain that any further. Like I don't know why exactly, but being around people gives me anxiety. I have social anxiety. That's, you know, that is what it is. That's the facts, okay? And yeah, like I said, people always take things the wrong way. I mean, me included, but I just don't want to talk to people anymore because people, like, I'll say something that I think is funny, and you guys might think it's funny, Zachary might think it's funny, my dad might think it's funny, but none of my peers think it's funny, and then I'm the only one laughing, and it's really, really awkward and embarrassing, humiliating, all that. I try to talk to people about personal stuff, and no one listens. Well, my subscribers listen. My parents don't get it, and I'm so sick of talking to them. Like, no offense to them, but like I said, I've been struggling with making friends for most of my life. So and I only see my therapist once a week. I have her phone number, yeah, but I only see her once a week. So my parents have always been the person I've had to talk to because I have no one else. And I really need a different entity. I need a different perspective. And so that's part of the thing that friends are for, to listen while you talk to them. You're supposed to let friends vent to you, and you can understand and support them, but I have no one like that for me. I try to talk to people about deep personal stuff, and then they don't want to hear it. They don't get it. They think it's awkward. They stop me. They feel uncomfortable, and then they wind up not wanting to be my friend anymore because I'm known as the person who talks about really depressing, dark stuff all the time. I'm a super negative influence, and I have a super negative vibe, and they don't want to be around me, and that's just what always happens. So yeah, that's it. And I'll say something wrong, they're gonna take it the wrong way, they'll respond in a very hurtful way, and basically anything pessimistic you can think of. That's what I just kind of talked about. Generally, being around people makes me want to run away and hide and kill myself. Like I said, I've never done anything. I'm not really suicidal. I feel really worthless a lot of the time, and sometimes that causes me to write stuff like this, but I'm not suicidal. Run away and hide, or just run away alone, because I just want to get away. I want to get away. I want a different life. I don't like the life I'm living right now. I love YouTube. Like I'm gonna get to in a minute. YouTube is like the only thing keeping me going. It's the only thing I'm proud of, the only thing I enjoy, the only thing that gives me confidence. I have very low self-esteem. I hate myself, and that causes me to hate other people, which I'm gonna get to. But yeah, I just want to run away. I want to hide. I don't want to deal with life's problems. I know that I need to, and problems need to be faced and not avoided. My mom always tends to run away from her problems and avoid them. It depends what the problems are, actually. With things that she knows how to handle, she will full-on handle them. Things she doesn't know, she will just avoid them. So if I'm having an anxiety attack and she doesn't know how to deal with it, she leaves, she goes to sleep, and she deals with her anxiety, and she doesn't know how to deal with me, so she just shuts it down. But things like people bullying me at school, she will fight that head on. She's been emailing principals and psychiatrists, and I need to get evaluated for extra support at school. So there's certain things that she's really passionate about, and then there's certain things that she just doesn't know how to handle, and she doesn't try. But I'm saying in general, you can't avoid your problems in life. You need to face them, or they'll continue to stay problems. They won't be resolved or fixed. So they need to be faced head on. But I don't know how to do that, and I don't have motivation to, and that's the problem. I'm a very unmotivated person most of the time. Today I've been really motivated to work out, so I've worked out a couple times today. I've lifted some weights, I've done some abs and stuff, but sometimes I feel very lethargic and I don't want to do anything. And then there are certain days where I feel so gross that I shower multiple times that day, and then there are times where I'm so unmotivated to shower that I don't shower for a week, and that's just because of depression. I'm not a gross human being. I mean, I am. I say a lot of dirty stuff, which is another reason why people don't want to be around me, because I guess people don't get my sense of humor a lot of the time, and I'm just very dirty, and that's just my personality. That's just who I am, and if you don't accept that, that's another thing I wanted to address. Stop asking me if my parents let me curse. Stop calling my parents bad parents for letting me curse. There's this thing called the First Amendment of the American Constitution. Freedom of speech, religion, all that stuff. Freedom of speech, I believe in, and you can't judge me for being a teenage girl in high school in this society and expect me not to curse, and stop judging me for it, stop judging my parents for it, stop commenting, stop questioning about that, regarding that subject. Stop. It's really, really irritating me, and I've answered it so many times. I've addressed it so many times, and I'm not doing it anymore. So just stop, or I'm just gonna start removing your comments, or ignoring your comments. Just stop. But yeah, anyway, I spend my school mornings fighting with my parents, crying, stressed out, not because of the schoolwork necessarily, but mostly because of the people. Not only do the people's personalities suck, but just the fact that there are people. There's the fact that there are other people causes me to hide in bathrooms alone to get away from it all. My grades are going down because I don't care about anything or anyone anymore, except for YouTube, because that's online and I don't actually have to in-person interact with people. And I'm proud of my work, but that's the only thing I'm proud of and the only thing keeping me alive. It's the only thing that's keeping me here in my room doing stuff I have to do. So yeah. Okay, so like I said, I am having problems with people, and people at my school suck. I'm not going to generalize everybody at my school, but anybody I've interacted with, their personalities are terrible. They suck, and I feel so uncomfortable and awkward around them. They don't want to be friends with me. I don't want friends. So I guess I would like friends if I wasn't. This is my dad's theory. I would want friends if I wasn't hurt so many times in the past that I just haven't found people that have reversed my mind yet. And I don't know when that's gonna happen. I hope people in my school see this so you can make some sort of change to your personalities. Because there are social pariahs like me, social outcasts, so people with mental problems, and they're not always visible. Some people's mental problems are visible. Some people's mental problems are not visible, and then you just treat me like a normal person, which I want to be treated like a normal person. I don't want to be treated like, you know, special needs or anything like that. But it would be nice to have some emotional support and some sensitivity, you know? Like, don't be so insensitive. Don't just make assumptions. So yeah, caused me to hide in bathrooms alone to get away from it all. My grades are somewhat suffering because I've been having problems with caring about anything. I care about YouTube. That's it. I don't really care about making friends. I don't really care about my grades as much anymore. I don't care about completing assignments as much anymore. I still care about it, but I used to care about it so much, and now I just, like I said, I have no motivation. And high school is the time where I need to care. You know what I mean? Like, high school impacts college and that impacts my future. Yeah, I get that. But this is just the time where I don't care, and it's bad timing, but it's the time. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. Except for YouTube, because that's online and I don't have to interact with people in person. I love texting and, well, not really texting. I text with some of you, like 2 of you, but DMing you and Snapchatting you guys, I love it so much. You guys understand. You guys are like my mini little therapist. You guys are my best friends, and I've never met you in person because I do really, really badly with people in person. I do really badly with my classmates, but you guys are like my best friends. So YouTube is the only thing that's keeping me going. My parents have threatened to take it away from me when I've acted out, and I said, I'm gone. YouTube is gone, I'm gone. They were making empty threats. They would never take this away from me. This is the only thing keeping me here, only thing keeping me going, the only thing that's motivating me to do anything. It's my outlet. I'm providing help and entertainment for you, and I'm making myself feel good, and I would be letting people down if I didn't have this at this point. Okay, so yes. Well, YouTube and my somewhat optimistic hope for the future after high school, after dealing with mostly immature mofos, where I have freedom, I can make my own decisions. Though I'm incapable of making the simplest decisions now, they cause me a lot of anxiety and stress and tension, and being extremely depressed and upset. I struggle with making decisions, and that's part of depression. I can't make simple decisions. Simple decisions stress me the hell out. I feel like it's gonna be the wrong decision, or it could negatively impact stuff. Like, I'm so bad at making decisions right now. And this is part of like the no self-esteem, low self-confidence thing. I don't like trust myself to make the right decisions, the simplest ones a lot of the time too. And you know, I'm looking forward to after high school, after dealing with the people I have to deal with who are so immature. The people in my school are so incredibly immature. That's part of the reason why I'm not friends with any of them. Okay, it's actually a while later now, but my camera battery died, so I've been having to let it charge. But I remember what I was saying. I was saying how the people in my school are really, really immature, and that's another reason why I don't have a lot of friends. Last year I didn't have a lot of friends, and you know what, this year it's because they're immature and they don't embrace differences. I'm different, okay? I'm not necessarily ethnically different. I mean, I am Jewish culturally, which is different, but I'm just a very, very unique, different person, and people want to be around people that they're comfortable with, like in their comfort zone. They don't really want to expand their horizons. I'm a vegan, I'm a YouTuber, I dress differently, I'm small, my hair is different, I don't know, but I'm different. I think differently, I act differently, and people don't always embrace that, and by don't always, I mean hardly ever. At my school, I can't speak for other parts of the world because I haven't traveled around that much, but in my school district at least, people don't embrace that. People want to stick with the people they're comfortable with, the people that are like them, and I'm not like many people. I'm different, you know, and that's another reason. So I wanted to mention that too. People have zero emotional or moral intelligence or maturity or understanding. And I'm just gonna kind of read more of this and stop talking about getting sidetracked, you know. I mean, everything I'm saying is valid. I'm saying everything for a purpose, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so, okay, people are useless. I hate people. People have zero emotional or moral intelligence or maturity or understanding. It kind of goes with what I was just talking about, embracing changes and differences. I understand. Okay, this is also a point that I need to expand on. I understand if one is visibly depressed, stressed, or having a problem, they're releasing negative vibes, and you don't want to be near them or you don't want to talk to them because you're kind of afraid of them, or you're just afraid they're gonna snap at you, or you're afraid that you won't know what to do, or you know you won't know what to do, and you're gonna feel awkward and uncomfortable. And so you just avoid the problem instead of facing it, which is, I do that myself all the time, not gonna lie. But if someone tells you, or you see that someone is having a serious issue, or they're hurting, or they're physically hurting themselves, or anything like that, they're being abused, anything, you should try your best to help. Like, don't get all up in their grill, obviously, because if they're like isolated, or if they're dealing with that, they don't want people to like pity them necessarily in certain situations, but care, show you give a shit. Like, at least indirectly help them by talking to guidance counselors. They might get mad at you at first. I've seen this all the time, like movies and stuff. People get so mad when like they know that someone's having a problem, and then they try to like indirectly help them by talking to adults and counselors, and they get really mad at them at first, but it really helps them in the long run. They need help, so get them help. Do the best you can. Do whatever you can. Last year, I struggled with this a lot because I was very, very depressed last year. Why am I like so like, I'm shaking right now and I can't breathe, and I'm not really sure why. I'm probably just really tired. It's 11:30 p.m. on Friday, so don't worry, I don't have school tomorrow. But yeah, I don't really know why, but I'm shaking and I can't breathe. But anyway, this is kind of what it feels like when I have an anxiety attack, but I'm not really anxious about anything, I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, getting really sidetracked, sorry about that. But last year I was very visibly depressed and I just didn't want, you know, people didn't want to talk to me, people didn't want to be around me. I was very negative, and I was just I had a very negative vibe around me, and that's part of the reason I had no friends. And I realized that. I totally realized that. I've done a lot better to hide it this year. I kind of hide if I want to express it. But yeah, this year I've been hiding it a lot better. But seriously, people like would judge me, and people would completely avoid me because of it, which is so wrong. They obviously need help. They obviously need help, and they obviously are not getting the help they need. So, you know, I'm not really sure. I can't convince you to do anything necessarily. I can't tell you to do something, but just keep this stuff in mind is what I'm trying to say. And obviously, if they're physically hurting themselves, you 100% need to help them. You need to help them. They can't continue to do that. It's so unhealthy, and you need to help them fix the problem. Even if they don't want your help, you have to help them anyway, because it will help them, and they won't continue to do stuff that they will regret. So I've gotten a lot better at hiding my emotions in front of my classes, but like I said, it's not that I don't isolate myself and hide in bathrooms until I stop sobbing and panicking. What? Oh, it's not like I don't isolate myself and hide myself in bathrooms and sobbing and panicking and having anxiety attacks. Like I said, I've gotten a lot better at hiding it in front of my classmates, but it's not like I don't run to bathrooms and express it while I'm isolating myself, not in front of people, so that what happened last year is not a repeat. So anyway, you know, I said this earlier, I just disappear during lunch sometimes for the entire period. This happened today, the day I wrote this, to perform these episodes I have, and people may ask me where I am once, and I say that I don't want to talk about it, and that's it. They show no concern at all. And when I eventually tell them, they run away from me, they stop talking to me, they don't want to be friends with me, and they say it's awkward, or sorry, or that sucks, but no pure, real concern. Don't need to add anything to that. That says it all. People don't show real concern. They're just like, oh, that sucks. Sorry about that. I don't know. They don't really care. They don't want to talk to you about it. They don't say like, hey, if you need me, you can talk to me. No, people don't say that. They just say sorry, or that sucks, or, you know. And I'm sorry if I'm talking really quietly. It's really late right now, and like I haven't talked in a while, so you know, so sorry about that. Okay, I don't have that much left. I have zero self-esteem, confidence, or love for myself. I hate myself so much, and I really want time to myself. No work to do or any shit to deal with, which I never get. Nobody around, just me and Netflix and relaxing and doing things I enjoy, but I don't get that. My life is being consumed by anxiety, depression, and it comes mostly from school. I hate myself, and that's part of the reason that I hate other people. I'm afraid to go to school. People are so mean. The kid who sits next to me in math class tells me I smell bad every day. People are judgmental and rude as hell. People are unreliable and untrustworthy, and I feel beyond uncomfortable when I'm around people. And I wrote half of a sentence, but I don't even know where I was going with that one. But that's all I've written in that note. And it will continue. This is one video, probably of many, and I still need to get approval on it. So I'm not gonna have them watch the video, but I'm just gonna tell them the general synopsis. But I'm telling you guys, the purpose of this video is because you guys wanted it. I asked you and you wanted it, and I give my viewers what they want. This is very therapeutic for me, and I want to start conversation. I want to raise awareness. I want to be relatable, and I want to show my support, and I want you guys to show your support. I'm not trying to get you to pity me. Like I said, I'm telling you, I deal with problems, and even if you deal with these problems too, you're not alone. I know that's really cliche, but you're not. And I actually kind of hate when people say that, because it makes me feel even less special. Like, I know these problems aren't special, and it makes me feel really bad that they're not special sometimes. But I'm here. I'm always here to talk. DM me if you have any of these problems. People DM me all the time. I reply to a lot of them. Some of them I don't reply to because I just don't have time, or the person looks really sketchy. But a lot of the time, you tell me who you are, what you're dealing with. I'll do my best to help you. I can't exactly give you tips on how to resolve these problems because, like I'm saying, I'm dealing with them now. I don't have resolutions just yet, and I want to bring you guys along this journey I'm having with it, and of course in vlogs and videos update you on what I've been changing and what's been working and how I've been resolving the problems or lessening the problems, and also a video that I can look back on. I don't have to like use all my storage. I can delete it after I upload it, but just a video documenting my journey and trying to help you guys and show my support and raise awareness, and that's all I can think of. There's a lot of purposes. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end this. It's probably even over an hour, I'm pretty sure it is, but that's okay with me, and I hope that's okay with you guys. And I've already started editing it, and I cut a couple things because if I didn't, I would have gone crazy. But I'll do my best to not be so rigid and stubborn, but we'll see what happens. I still have to watch through the whole thing, because if there's something I said that I shouldn't have, I have to cut it out. But anyway, so I'm just gonna end this video here. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video and my channel to those that you think might be interested, and leave me comments down below. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you have any concerns or things you need to talk to me privately about. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Love you. Bye.